back. We got a little leg day today, and this morning was a little rushed. Shot up to the barber. He's about like 45 minutes away from my house. Got a quick cut, and now we're back at the OG gym. This is where I first started training when I came to Florida, and it's very nostalgic. Have a lot of good memories here. Went through my first prep here, and I think in total I trained here for it's all like 3 years straight until I moved. But like I was saying, we got a leg day today. Starting off with some glutes. Really just feel like I get an overall better leg connection, you know, especially with my pressing movements, leg press, squat, Bulgarian, anything of that nature when I do start off with this. And besides the overall leg development that I need, another thing that I really need to work on specifically is my glutes, because I have no ass and I really need to have a balanced physique, and this is one thing that I'm heavily lacking, more than my legs. So I'm gonna run this for a solid 2 to 3 top sets. I think I'm on number 2 right now, working on a third, and then we're gonna move on. But if you're not doing this, you should definitely start, because I just recently incorporated this and I'm loving it. Okay. Whew. Whew. Shit. That was a good one. Yep. Oh, come on. Yep. Oh, halfway. Come on, Vaughn. Whew. Whew. Oh, fuck. Yep. Oh, shit. Whew, okay. Oh, fuck. Whew. Oh, fuck. Oh. Whew. Whew. All right. So that was the last set of 3, right? 3 top sets there. And I feel like this is one of the best movements to do towards the beginning of the leg day, because it primes the knees really well for those pressing movements later on. Just warms everything up really good, stretches out the back of the knee, and also the hamstring pump. I feel like that helps a lot just progressing through the leg day, at least into the quad movements. But one of my favorite things here, biggest thing to focus on, is that tempo. Really firing down, pinning it, holding it for a second, and then letting it slow up. It's going to just absolutely demolish the hamstrings. But I feel like this might be a wrap for the hamstrings today. I might do an RDO. I'll do an RDO. But let me tell you, it's a damn good starting point for them, because they're feeling it already. Whew. Whew. Whew, more. Come on. Whew. Yo. Whew. 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 Oh, okay. Whew. Oh. Oh, wow. That was a good one. Whew. 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 My lower back is feeling a little bit. And even I have a little like stomach discomfort. I don't know if it's like a little hernia or something going on, but threw on the belt and it's helping a good bit, like I said. But we're on to the leg press, and this has got to be one of my overall favorite leg movements, just because I feel like I do get a really solid connection through the quads on this, and when you're training, I'm so fucking out of breath. Holy shit. Whew. 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 I need a Coke and a cheeseburger right now. Fuck. Whew. Like I was saying, when you're training, it doesn't really matter how much weight you're pushing when it comes to bodybuilding. If you're powerlifting, that's one thing. But when you're bodybuilding, overall goal is to stimulate the muscle to grow. So if you're not feeling something, you're probably not working it. And since I do have that really good connection on this, that's why it's an S tier movement for me. But sitting around that 2 to 3 top set range, I think I got like 12 reps there. Wasn't really counting, but felt pretty good. So I'm gonna run it for another one, and then potentially move on. Might stick around for another one after that, but it's a damn good leg day. Holy shit. If you have a bit of difficulty connecting with your quads, I think using this as one of the first movements of your leg workout, it'll really get everything going. And for those movements later on that are more quad focused, you will get that better connection. So a little pre-exhaustion on the quads using this towards the beginning, it could be a lifesaver for you. But we've got 3 plates on, and one of the things that I really love about the prime machines, or machines where you can manipulate the load, I've got 2 in the main portion, 1 on top, and with that 1 plate on top, it still carries a good deal of weight in the beginning of the movement, but when you get towards the top of the rep, it's going to let off just a little bit. So you're able to get that little extra squeeze, but on the way down, you do get that tension built back up again. So that's what we're rocking with. And this is something where I'm already 3 sets in, 2 or 3 sets in, and I'll probably run it for another, I don't know, probably even 2 or 3, just a little extra credit, because fuck it, why not? It's Saturday, and it's just feeling really good. So I'll say this 1,000 times, I'll die by this, but I really believe if you do feel a movement and you have the ultimate connection with it, you might as well just milk it out for as long as you can. And quads are something that I do really need to develop, and I feel like a lot of people have somewhat of a stigma towards the good old leg extension, where it's really good for defining muscle, but it's not the best for growth. But I think I disagree with that, because you can get a lot out of the machine, and obviously, going heavy on a leg press or a squat, I think there is more potential room for growth there. But I don't think you should knock this, because it's one of the go-tos. If this was on a rating scale, 1 to 10, it's got to be 8 or 9. Just absolutely fantastic. And I'm just delaying getting into this next set because I'm absolutely cooked right now and I'm starving. But let's get into it. Okay. Whew. 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 Oh, fuck. Oh, right. Yep. Oh, time to work. Okay. Oh, fuck. All right. Come on, Vaughn. Whew. Oh, shit. Whew. 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 I might have been a little dramatic about the amount of sets I was going to do. Whew. Because that might have been the one right there. Did not even hit close to the rep range I wanted to. But the stimulus was high. That's all I really care about. And obviously going to muscle failure rather than mental. And there's a huge difference between the two. Because a lot of the times you psych yourself out after getting pretty deep into a set. And just by the burning sensation, the fatigue, the tiredness, you want to give up. And your brain's telling you to give up. But when you go to muscle failure, you push past all that bullshit and you literally go until you can't go anymore. And with the mental failure, a lot of times when you stop, you probably had 2 or 3 left in the tank, but the muscle failure, on the other hand, that's going until the gases ran out. And I think that's where I'm at. So instead of 2 or 3, I'll probably run another one, a little back off, and then we got some squats next, which is going to be a doozy, but grateful to do it. Very grateful to do it. Come on. 2, 2. Whew. Oh, more. Easy, come on. One more. Whew. Fuck. Okay. Whew. All right. Whew. Hey, you'll never know unless you try. Whew. Fuck. Well, instead of a squat movement, just because I mentioned that whole lower back thing before, I went with a hip press instead. And for the most part, it's going to run about the same things. A little bit of glute, a little bit of quad, good mix of both. And that's what we went with. But that was my last top set here. And at this point, I am drained. So I originally wasn't planning on doing the RDOs in the beginning. Whew. And then I said I was. And now I regret to inform you that I'm going back on that initial decision. I will not be doing them today. Honestly, I think this was a quad focused leg day regardless. So, and I got back and hamstrings coming up. So, I'm gonna wrap up here, run some calves, and then I need some food. I usually have an intro workout, but here we are. Once again, I did not have it. I didn't want you to think I skipped calves. And even though it's got to be one of the most boring exercises to watch and also perform, I had to get some concrete proof for you because I know some of you watching this, you either skipped cardio or you skipped calves today, and I will not be having any of that. So if that's you, you better get your ass in the gym tomorrow and do them. And if you don't, with the holidays coming up, you're gonna end up on the naughty list. Oh fuck. Okay. Golly. Well, all right. That's enough. Now we're leaving. Whew. What a day. What a day. What a leg day. That was a good session. Very, very happy with that. And I also just picked up a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, let me see if I can reach her. But I was just complaining about my digestion and whatnot. So I got a whole bunch of stuff from Revive. And it's the same company that does the glucose and digestate that I was talking about. But I got glutamine, fiber, gut health, and GI. And all that stuff is going to help regulate the system. And hopefully by tomorrow, we have a full factory reset on the stomach. And, if you want to get anything from Revive, Raw, YOUNGLA, this entire fit, the sweats, the beater, the socks, everything I have on right now, besides the hat and the shoes, obviously, is from the YOUNGLA Black Friday drop. And for any three of those companies, Revive, Raw, and YOUNGLA, you can use code Vaughn, save some money. And I mentioned in the last video, we're doing a bunch of giveaways through the companies and like personally myself as well. So use code Vaughn, send it my way, shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you're not connected, not tapped in on Instagram, Vaughn Walker with 2 N's, obviously where the N's go. But like I was saying, that is a very, very, well, that was a very good session. And I was just riding in my car for a little bit. I think I had music on, cranking some music for a solid like song or two, and I just had this little thought roll across my mind. I feel like people are so easy to give up on things when it's not going their way. But if you think about it like this, you can spend 4 or 5 years of your life partying, drinking, drugs, just destroying your health, and you're willingly doing that. You're in control of your actions. You're in full control of the things that you do. And, if you're okay with that, why is it that you're okay with spending those 4 years destroying your life, but you can't match that by spending 4 years of trying to build your life and become a better person? Usually at that 1 to 2 month mark, that's when people give up on their goals, diet, training. It just gets too hard for them. And then they fall back into that comfort of the drugs and the partying. And obviously that's the easy way out. But that's not the way to live, bro. That's not the way to live. You should wake up with this burning desire of just trying to elevate as a person and, becoming that best version of you, and falling back into that comfortability, as easy as it is and as safe as that feels, that's not the safe thing to do. Spend those next 4 years. You already wasted those 4 on destroying your health. Do something good for yourself. Spend 4 years, match whatever you spent, and try to become the person that you always wanted to be. Don't give up at that 1 to 2 month mark. It's so, like I said, it's so easy to fall back into that habit, but you just can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. But like I said before, we got a 45-minute drive. I gotta get going. It's been a minute here at the gym. Okay, we're on a mission to get 3 things, and 3 things only. We need some carbs, some protein, and some fats. And just got to Whole Foods. I need to get like a Costco membership or something, because grocery stores be taxing you nowadays. But with those wholesale prices, you can't really beat them. And you do get a lot more out of a store like that. But I do like to come to Whole Foods for like some good fruit. You know, they got some pretty premium apples and blueberries and all that jazz. But like I said, we need some chicken, some beef, some veggies, some carbs, and that's pretty much all I eat. So it's pretty much everybody's diet. But we're gonna get the Whole Foods from Whole Foods. So the first order of business is some shredded lettuce. I think it's probably my go-to vegetable, just because you can add a whole bunch of volume to a meal just by throwing that in there. You know, your chicken and rice, your beef and rice, salmon and rice, whatever you're having. You get a nice sauce, like a nice low-calorie sauce. Add the lettuce, and you just get so much more out of it. And I think, you know, like 100 grams of the lettuce, which is a lot of lettuce. It's only about like 15 calories, so it doesn't add too much. And then also the vegetables are really good for digestion too. So a little hack right there. And obviously had to stop and get the apples. Very convenient, because it's like the first thing that you see when you walk in, and can't beat a good Honeycrisp. It's not in my meal plan, but this it's pomegranate juice. You know, it's a really good simple sugar, and the pomegranate itself, it is good for blood flow too. So like right before the gym, really good thing to add to your pre-workout. And you know, the flavor is pretty good on it too, nice and sweet, little pomegranate-y flavor. But we're looking for sauces right now. I have plenty of sauces at the house, but sorry about that. Like I was saying, I got plenty of sauces at the house, but there's some really good options here at Whole Foods. And another pretty good diet hack right here is a nice low-calorie soda. I'm not a huge soda drinker, but on prep, these saved my life. The Zevias, I think they're is it 0 calorie? Let me see. Yeah, 0 calorie. It does have some caffeine, so it's not ideal to drink it at night. But some of the flavors, like the ginger ale, is that's non-caffeinated, also 0 calorie. But the bubbles fill your stomach up pretty good, so you don't have that like crazy hunger sensation. And then also with some of them, the caffeine is a really good appetite suppressant as well. But while we're here, got to get one of the go-to carbohydrates, and that is the Life cereal. Or not Life. Life is good. That was one of my go-tos growing up, but we've got the rice checks. This is what I make the whey drip with all the time. So they only got 2 boxes left. Took both boxes, but honestly, you can go with pretty much any cereal, especially if you're at like a Whole Foods or like more organic store, because they're not gonna be loaded with a bunch of shit. So you just want to like stick away from the ones with like heavy amounts of sugars and all that other garbage that you don't really need, like the high fructose corn syrup and all that jazz. But we got Brownie Crunch, Rice Crisps. You know, Rice Krispies are another good alternative if you're not a huge Chex guy, but I am, so that's what we got. Now to the fun stuff. I have plenty of MegaFit chicken coming in, so I'm not going to get too much of that, but I feel like it's always a good thing to have some extra chicken in the freezer. You know, you can really good protein source, lean chicken, ground turkey, ground chicken's really good, but we're going with the chicken breast, and I don't see too much. Oh, there we go. We got the chicken, and big takeaway with chicken, there's a few different options. You can get chicken thighs, or chicken breast. I actually think that's like the only two options. But if you want a little more fat, go with the chicken thighs. But if you want a leaner piece of chicken, get the chicken tenderloins or the chicken breast. And, I got plenty of eggs at the house, but that's another really good protein source. Good for fats as well, if you're using the yolk. But super easy to pull the yolk out and just do the egg whites if you want, you know, a leaner protein source for, you know, breakfast, or just if you want to switch it up here and there. It's a really good option. But now we gotta find some rice, and I got plenty of rice at home, none cooked, so we're just gonna go with the easy alternative, which is the frozen bagged rice. And if you're on the go, it's so easy to just pick up a bag of that. You know, you don't have to go through the whole cooking process, and it just makes it a lot easier. But that is what we're doing today. Now for beef. Beef is a really, really good protein source that everybody should be working into their diet at some point. And you know, I'll be getting something like ground venison or ground bison. It seems like they only have the ground venison today, so I'm gonna grab a couple of those and call it a day. But nice little pack. And obviously beef is gonna have a higher fat content, but I think it's definitely it's a good thing to have in your diet. But eating too much of it, you know, too high in fats, that can lead you in the wrong direction, just because per gram of fat, it's around like 9 calories. So if you can go with a lean protein source, it's a lot more ideal if you're cutting. But if you have one meal a day on a cut with beef, that's what I did all throughout prep. It's really good for your body. And if you're bulking and you need some extra calories, beef is definitely the way to go. But we're in the coffee section now, and big coffee drinker. And a little hack here, they've got these little creamers, 10 calories, called nut pods. This is almond coconut, and that's pretty much all they have. No, that's a lie. They got cookie butter, cinnamon swirl, toffee nut, caramel, toasted marshmallow, hazelnut, and there's only one gram of sugar. No sugar, 1 gram of fat. That's why the calories are there. But really good option to put in coffee. Make it taste a little better, so you're not killing yourself. And then I don't eat too many oats, but oats are another really good carb source. And you know, if you throw that in with like protein, make some protein oats, a little bit of fruit. Really good pre-workout meal, really good breakfast. And fucking A. It's tempting, bro. It's tempting to walk through a grocery store and see cookies. But I don't know what you know about these. The Tate's walnut chocolate chip. These are my go-to, bro. I love a good crispy cookie. Fuck. Ooh, that's what cheat meals are for, you know? If you ate like an asshole all the time, then obviously you're not gonna hit your goals. But I think it's good to indulge every once in a while to keep the mental good. And I think that's what a cheat meal is for, you know? It's not really the fact that your body needs shitty food, because obviously it doesn't. You know, you can definitely live your life eating clean, but it's more for like the mental side. If you have a like crave and desire for something that's off meal plan, and just something to bring a little more life to you, because you do get a good dopamine rush from a good cheat meal. But that's what they're primarily used for. So you got to keep them limited, though. You got to keep them limited. I'm a huge snacker, so whenever I see a bag of chips, you know, it doesn't matter if it's like a smaller serving or family size. As soon as I have one chip, that entire bag is going to be deleted. And I'm a huge pretzel guy, of course, because you know, we got the Vaughn Streets chocolate covered pretzels, but even like an OG crispy pretzel, that's my go-to. But whew, Bro, it's tempting in here, bro. It's tempting. Also a huge chip and dip kind of guy. You know, a nice tortilla with a cheese dip or salsa. Can't beat that. I was mentioning that I did have some digestive issues earlier on, and something to really help you out with that is, you know, high fiber foods. You can get, you know, a high fiber cereal, or apples are even pretty high in fiber. But a good alternative is obviously that supplement that I mentioned. But I think the last thing we need is, oh, while we're on the topic of digestion, another really good thing to have is sauerkraut or kimchi. That is really, really good for your gut, and it'll get everything moving. But
That's what I was gonna pick up myself, to be honest.
the last thing we need is peanut butter or almond butter. Let's see what the options they have. I don't know about you, but when it comes to peanut butter, I do like the chunky, and then on the almond butter side, I like the creamy. But I think out of the options, I'm gonna go with ooh, that one's on sale too. Biggest thing when you're shopping, look for the sales. It's always a good thing to save some money. But we're going with the creamy, crunchy. Okay. It's on sale, so we're going with the creamy peanut butter. Really good fat source, nice healthy fat. And you know, if you also need a little snack, apple and peanut butter is a really good way to go. Just because, you know, you can track it very easily when you're getting a burger or something. You don't really know what the hell you're putting in your body. So with the apple and peanut butter, you can measure it out and keep everything on track. So I think that's one of the biggest things. You know, you can overindulge very easily by going out and getting food, even if it's sorry about that. Even if it's like a healthier place, just because you can't measure it, they put some like oils and shit in there, and like overall, like I said, it's just hard to track. But with a food scale, you can measure about pretty much anything. So I think if you did want to fall off plan or something, or if you did have a craving, nice little snack like that, can't go wrong with it because, like I said, you can track it. But that's it for the groceries today. And actually, I need toilet paper. But yeah, that's it for today, at least for the grocery store. So see you at home. We're back at home, and we've got a pretty typical meal: chicken, rice, lettuce, some sauerkraut, and a little bit of hot sauce on there. I think it's so important to have a variety of sauces to just rotate through, you know, just throughout your week, because a lot of meal prep, a lot of dieting, it's just eating the same thing over and over and over again. And if you're doing that and not, you know, giving yourself some good flavors and, you know, at least some new flavors every once in a while, you're gonna get sick of it so quick. But like I said, that is a pretty typical meal for me. And I know you see this box poking through in the background. That is the Black Friday YOUNGLA drop, which starts on the 25th and then runs for about a week. And we also got this guy right here, some new protein from Raw. This is the hot cocoa, and it's gotta be one of my favorite seasonal flavors, bro. But if you want to save some money, YOUNGLA and Raw, we're both having these gigantic sales throughout the month of November for Black Friday. And bro, when I tell you it's a perfect time to stock up, because number one, there's gonna be so many new clothes dropping from YOUNGLA, and then a whole bunch of different supplements as well. And they also got some good merch. But save some money, use code Vaughn, supports me. And if you do use code Vaughn, send me a screenshot or just like a DM on Instagram so I can thank you. I really appreciate it when, you know, anybody uses my code. But if you're not tapped into Instagram, it's Vaughn Walker with 2 N's, and give it a like, No, not give it a like. Give it a follow, like this video, subscribe to it. And, you know, it's a pretty chill Sunday here. So I'm going to eat this meal, get some work done today, and then I will see you on Wednesday. So I appreciate you watching the video. And if you haven't already, like I said, like, follow, subscribe, and comment. We're trying to get to 100K, so as much as you can, pump the algorithm. But like I said, appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.